free parking downtown SLO. Yeah, you heard that right. Just park in the new structure on the Pomo and Palm, across from the Creamery. Eat at La Esquina, Mistura, or Mama's Meatball, and they'll validate your parking.
Thank you.
To learn more about how to park free downtown, visit slowfreeparking.com.
You're Up and Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Hump Day. What is good? Thank you so much for being Up and Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. All right, today, this guy's a legend. From training Hollywood icons and helping invent modern fitness media to now launching a 24/7 motivational radio channel designed to lift people up mentally, physically, emotionally. Body by Jake himself. Jake Steinfeld is coming up on the show in just a few. This conversation, it goes way deeper than reps, treadmills, or beach bodies. He actually lost his home in the Palisades fire. I just learned that doing prep for the interview. Jake opens up about what happens when the man who's spent decades telling people to don't quit has to live that message himself. We walk this line where we talk rebuilding a life after loss, why movement might be the most underrated antidepressant in the world, and the very first small step someone can take when they feel stuck, overwhelmed, or like they're drowning in their own situation. Plus the launch of Body by Jake Radio with iHeartMedia and Universal Music Group. This is an exciting new thing for this guy who's been doing this for close to 50 years. Body by Jake will be Up and Adam in just a matter of minutes. Exciting. A few lo-fi headlines before that. All right, file this under things that sound made up but aren't. I saw this, and the video of the news story is kind of cool too. A small town in Alaska just saw its last sunset until August. You've probably heard stories like this where it's dark somewhere up there for months at a time, or in this case, in a town called Utqiagvik. Did I say that right? Utqiagvik. Spelled Utqiagvik. Goodness, like to buy a vowel. It's way up at the top of Alaska, above the Arctic Circle, and every year around this time, the sun, it just doesn't leave. For the next 84 days, they will get the midnight sun, meaning the sun stays above the horizon 24 hours a day. And when you see the time lapse of it, it looks like just the sun is just doing this little kind of, it's a little bit humps, it's like, but it never really goes below the horizon. It's wild. And you might imagine, can you imagine though, like you go to work, sun, yes, good, wake up, sun, lunch, sun, happy hour, still sun. You wake up confused, go to bed confused, your Ring camera kind of thinks it's noon for like 3 months straight. Yeah, sun's not going to get there till like early August. And the wild part, even with all that sun, it's not exactly Cabo either. July highs in this place average around 49 degrees. So yes, endless daylight, but dress very warm. Honestly, there's something kind of cool about that. Cloudy days in California. Careful what you wish for. That's pretty cool. Utqiagvik. Fun to spend a couple days there. I imagine it could get to you though. Mess with that circadian rhythm. All right, here, this is a kind of an interesting story. I couldn't believe this when it was true. I was like, is this just one of those things? Some people don't know what to do with their hands in photos, right? One option is they make the peace sign, right? The V, hand gesture, with your index and middle fingers. What seems popular with the younger crowd these days, and it kind of always has, right? Who is it also popular with? Scammers. No joke. I thought this sounded a little bit paranoid, but apparently it's a thing. According to a new report, cell phones are able to capture such high-resolution images that it's possible your fingerprints could be extracted from the picture. Like, what? For this to work, you need to be pointing your fingers obviously outward. So like the double V, where your fingers are facing inward towards your chest, that would be obviously fine. You'd be safe there. Before anyone gets too paranoid, 3 things. 1, this would also take a significant operation to pull off, I have to imagine, using advanced AI-powered software. But it's worth mentioning because AI tech is moving so quick that what seemed advanced a year or two, a month or two, now is like basic. Number 2, this article says it's mostly for close-up selfies with your fingers in the forefront, like kind of near your face, basically within a few feet, like an arm's reach from the camera. If it's a non-selfie photo and you're standing at a distance or giving some like maybe bunny ears in a group photo, you're probably fine. Although again, who knows where we could be as tech barrels forward. It's kind of odd. And then finally, this article talks about with all the tools and software at their disposal, identity thieves would probably need multiple images to be able to literally reconstruct your fingerprints, because that's what we're talking about here. And those would also need to have good lighting, good focus. And they would also need something to do with these prints. What are you going to do with my fingerprints? If you want to be extra careful, I guess you could always blur your fingertips. That seems a little paranoid. But what are you going to do with my fingerprints? All right, local story here. We got a couple more lo-fi headlines. This is super cool. Templeton Feed and Grain, burned down, but the community around it never stopped building. Now, about $500,000 has been raised through an online fundraiser. It started after the massive fire destroyed the historic Templeton business a few months ago. That was back in July. And that number just keeps growing. If you ever lived in the area for any amount of time, Templeton Feed and Grain, it's not just some store. It's one of those places that feels like built into the backbone of the town. It's part of the skyscape. It's just inherent to everything about that part of Main Street. Tractor parts, hay, boots, feed, local conversations. It's the kind of, spot where, everyone knows each other's name and your dog's name. And so the fire destroyed, of course, that main building. And for a lot of people, it just felt like a big blow. It felt very personal. Like watching a piece of old Templeton just kind of go up in smoke. But over the days and the weeks that followed, people kept donating, doing different things, sharing the link. And now we're close to $500,000. That's really the community going like, hey, you guys aren't going there. They're telling the German family, you're not doing this alone. So that's a really, really neat story. Love good news like that. Looking at your forecast, today might be the coolest day of the week. We've had some clouds kind of do their thing, keeping things kind of mild. Forecasters say temperatures across SoCal expected to climb through the weekend, which means we're about to enter that time of year where everyone pretends that they love the heat right up until maybe like day 3 or 4 of it. But so coastal areas, San Luis Obispo, it'll probably get up to like the mid to maybe upper 70s. But Paso, Templeton, A-Town, we're starting to feel the heat. So if you're going to Wine Fest this weekend, Wine Fest is going to be, I thought for a long time, we were looking at the forecast like, ooh, wow, Wine Fest, mid 70s, I'll take it. That's probably going to be like mid to upper 80s. So definitely it's going to be a dry heat. Morro Bay looking like pretty chill. Maybe temps in the mid to upper 60s. Kind of like one of those times where it's like jacket 8 a.m., tank top at 2 p.m., and then regret by 5 because everything's changing all over again. So when summer is coming, when half the county starts flexing their microclimates. Like it's a personality trait. That's what's going down now. So North County, going to get hot. Beaches, going to be nice and chill. And places inland like San Luis Obispo, as it heats up, probably just about mid 70s. Not bad. Speaking of mid 70s, keeping it 72 and sunny all the time, we're about to get into our conversation with the one and only Body by Jake. Before that, let me tell you about our friends at the Mountain Air in San Luis Obispo. They've been doing their thing since 1975, right there on Marsh Street. They've helped generations of locals get outside at all skill levels, hiking, camping, climbing, heading to the snow, whatever it is local. It is not transactional. They are dialed in. They are kind. and you are seen. And you might be looking like, look, I want to rent a Yeti cooler, maybe rent a sleeping pad. Or maybe you want to go in and buy a brand new badass Patagonia jacket. You know, I mean, they got you dialed in. A couple doors down, they got their store, The Switchback, which I love that name, with a double entendre. You might be wanting to get into a new hobby. Maybe you're done with a hobby and you want to get rid of your gear, buy and sell your used gear, give someone else a chance. TheSwitchback.com, also TheMountainair.com. Please let Josh and Lindsay Herring know that you heard about them here on the show. It means an absolute ton. I appreciate you more than you know. The Mountain Air, San Luis Obispo.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, you know there are certain people who don't just enter a business, they create a business. What does Jay-Z say? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. My next guest did just that with fitness. From training Hollywood legends like Harrison Ford and Madonna to pioneering workout television long before streaming or Peloton ever existed. Jake Steinfeld, aka Body by Jake, has been more than, he spent close to 5 decades motivating people to move, pushing forward, and really believe in themselves. Now he's taken some of that don't quit energy to the airwaves with Body by Jake Radio. It's a 24/7 channel with iHeartMedia. So available right on your smartphone. He's partnering up with Universal Music. And it's built around music, mindset, motivation, and mental health. But this conversation also, it gets personal. After losing his home in the Palisades fire, Jake is now living the very message he spent his life teaching the world. Don't quit. Let's welcome the one and only Body by Jake. Are you kidding me? Jake Steinfeld, thank you for being Up and Adam.
You got it, man. Adam, how you do? I love that. Up and Adam. I love it. I love the energy already. I love your energy, Adam, in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, have you been here? You've been to San Luis Obispo, been to the Central Coast locale?
Come on, man. I'm an LA guy. You know, I've been in LA since I'm 18 years old. I've been in San Luis Obispo a bunch.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now,
Beautiful.
What fascinates me about this, Jake, is you've already conquered television. You helped invent modern fitness media before most people even realized fitness was media. And now at a time when the world feels kind of mentally fried, emotionally exhausted, we're constantly scrolling, you pivot to sound, that connection to radio. Why was this the moment to launch Body by Jake Radio? And what did you feel was missing in people's lives that made you go, okay, we need a 24/7 channel built around motivation, mindset, movement, music, all of it?
Well, first, Adam, thank you. I mean, it was so well said. You know, I've been doing interviews now for the last 4.5 hours, and you nailed it. I mean, thank you. Seriously, Adam, that was beautiful. I'll tell you what the moment was, man. We unfortunately, a year and a half ago, lost our home in the Pacific Palisades fires. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, my family is great. My wife and I now live in Century City, which is in the middle of the city in LA. We have 4 great kids. My daughter lives in London, and I got 2 boys in New York and 1 son in LA with us. And my wife Tracy and I are living in Century City, and I'm in the car more than ever. Driving back to the Palisades, we're rebuilding the house. Happy to say, a week ago we laid the foundation, man. So it's awesome to see when things go up. The last picture in your mind is staring at something we were lived in for 31 years, melted to the ground. You never want to even think to come across that, because it gives you pause. But you know, you have 2 choices at that moment in life. You could roll up in a ball and die, or you persevere.
Yeah.
And we choose to persevere every time, man. We don't quit. And as a family, it's been my life. And so I'm in a car all day long now. And I'm bopping, you know, dots and numbers and stuff like that, trying to find a station on the radio that I love. Late 70s, 80s, and 90s music. And more importantly, I just don't want to think, you know, when I'm listening. I maybe want some motivation, some inspiration, just to hear. I call it quiet, right? Where you said it beautifully, man. You know, we're living in crazy times. You know, people are desperate for hope. And we're right in the middle of Mental Health Month right now. And think about this, you know, the most underutilized antidepressant is exercise, man. And you start to just move your body, go out and take a walk. What starts to happen, man, the endorphins start popping in. You stand up a little bit straighter. Your shoulders go back a little bit. That smile comes back. The confidence and self-esteem starts to churn in your body. And that's when change really starts to happen. And I know a lot of you listeners, like all listeners, like every day around this great country of ours, we're dealing with things, and sometimes not such great things. And people think that they're just on their own, that they're by themselves. And you could be in that black cloud over your head, or the deepest, darkest ditch you've ever been in, and you don't feel you can get out of the way from it. And change is rough and change is tough, but with the right motivation and the right inspiration and the right tools, that's when change can really happen. And I think about this, and I've always done this when it came to me. Look, I was the first guy to do personal fitness training and made it an occupation. When I was with these big Hollywood stars, training them, getting them ready for movies, and then looking into the camera and talking to people with my Body by Jake show, over, my goodness, a lot of years. I always visualize myself talking to a couple, who had just eaten a big Saturday night dinner, and they're flipping around and it is Jake. Oh, he's a pretty cool guy. What does he have to say tonight?
Yeah.
And it was just about the simplicity. Don't overcomplicate. It's about moderation, and it's about taking control of you and believing in you.
Yeah.
And full circle, right? Ted Turner who just passed away, was my mentor. He put me on television the first time. I did the fitness break on Cable News Network. Back in the day, 1981 to 83, I did these 60-second vignettes that I did on the beach in Malibu with two models, and then parlayed that into first-run syndicated Body by Jake shows on ESPN, and had a dream to create a 24-hour fitness television network, which was called Fit TV, that I went back to Ted and saw headline news. And I said, that's the format that I can do a fitness channel with. And here we are, after losing our home and begin the rebuild and dealing with a lot of challenges, and the country dealing with a lot of challenges. I said, this is it. And I got the chills when I talk about it, and I got the chills when I thought about it. I said, I'm going to take that headline news wheel and do this for audio, for sound.
It's a great idea.
Where I want to connect with the listener on a private note, right? In a personal, private side, where I can give you mindset minute tips at the top of every hour, motivation, inspiration, right? Longevity tips, mental health tips, nutrition, fitness tips, all wrapped around great late 70s, 80s, and 90s music. So you don't have to worry ever again about creating a playlist. Our goal is we're going to wake you up in the morning and we're going to put you to bed at night. The overnight programming is not there yet because we're 3 days old. I mean, we're literally 3 days old, Adam, Body by Jake Radio. But overnight, we're going to have more chill music, more relaxation, conversation moments, and those kind of clips and tips to kind of cool you down.
I love that.
To relax you, to put you to bed, right? And then at 5:59 in the morning, bang, the alarm is going to go off, and 6 a.m., we get you going again. And that's what Body by Jake Radio is really all about. And our tagline, it kind of really it marks exactly what Body by Jake Radio is. It's 72 and sunny every day.
I love that. So perfect. What you were talking about, the fire, and my next question was, you spent so long telling people don't quit, but when something personal happens to you, did there have to be a moment where you stop saying, look, we can't say why me. We have to say what now. We got to pivot. We got to go.
Adam, you are good, man. You are very good. No, we look, I'm not going to kid you. The first 48 hours, man, I was in a fog. I mean, it was not easy. And for me, I had it to get, we lived in a hotel for 31 days. Really, we didn't have, you tell your wife, honey, I got nothing to wear tonight. We literally had nothing to wear. I posed this question to you as a thought. You live in a home for 31 years. You have 1 hour to evacuate. What do you take? And I just think about that, right? I mean, we had the clothes on our backs, man. I thought for sure I was coming back tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But I got back to the gym, got back to the routine, got back to the repetition, and things started. All of a sudden, my feet felt grounded again. And look, we talk about the fact that you have two choices. You could roll up in a ball and die, or you persevere.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We
Yeah.
persevere. And, listen, I live by the words, don't quit. I was cut from my 8th grade basketball team. Never forget the moment. I was 14 years old and pretty devastating. And this kid gave me a poem called Don't Quit. I was not a good student in school. And I think under any of the circumstances, I don't know what the moment was or the reason why I didn't just put it in the garbage can, right? I kept it. And it ended up becoming a Bible verse to me, man.
Yeah.
And those words, I actually trademarked the words "Don't Quit" in 1981, and I've owned them ever since.
That's so rad.
And it's and the poem is a great one. If you don't mind, for your audience, I'm just going to recite it because it kind of feels like it, and you deserve to hear this one, Adam. It's and the poem is called "Don't Quit." It's when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learn. And many a failure turn about when you might have won had you stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. Don't quit.
So good.
And that poem I had on my desk at 14 and everywhere else I ever lived. And the last thing I was going to take, I was in my office and I had my duffel bag and I went to grab the poem, Adam, and I stopped and I said out loud, I can't take this. If I take this poem, I quit on the house. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning to read it.
Wow.
And I touched it, and unfortunately, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. But you know what, man? Look how life changes. Look how when you persevere and you don't quit, and you don't quit on yourself and the people around you, what great can come of it, and what great does come of it. And here I am talking to you, launch this incredible platform that I will hope to help millions of people, as I've done throughout the last, holy smokes, man, 50 years. It's weird to say. I'm 68 now.
It's incredible to say that. Yeah. I want to ask one more question if I have a time. There are people listening right now who feel like they're drowning, just emotionally, physically. They hate how they feel. I want to lose weight. What is the smallest, most honest step that we could take when we feel buried under excess, not to become a fitness icon, but just to believe change is really possible again?
Is just getting started. Is tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to take the first step, even if it's just to take a walk around the apartment, a walk around the backyard, a walk around the neighborhood. Not run. Don't put a clock on it. Don't get an Apple Watch. With all due respect to all those things, there's so much stuff out there that it becomes white light. And when there's so much stuff and it becomes white light, you get paralyzed and you do nothing. And I've always said every body is very different. And what works for Adam doesn't normally work for Jake. So find something that fits into your lifestyle, not your lifestyle having to fit into somebody else's deal. And it's something that you can do, and you do it in moderation. Don't make yourself nuts. Don't make exercise a second job, right? You already have a job. You already have a family. Don't make yourself nuts. Start out by 1 push-up, goes to 2 push-ups, goes to 10 push-ups. That walk around the block start to use it as time. I walk for 5 minutes. I walk for 20 minutes. I walk for an hour today. Whoa, that's getting crazy. Now all of a sudden you're starting to feel good. Now you're feeling good. What else could I do? What else can I accomplish? That's what leads to success. That's where the hope comes in. because it's you believing in you, because you can accomplish it. But you got to start with you. You got to look in that mirror and say, it's time. Because the only one that can do that is you. You know, I'm tired of being tired. I'm bored of being bored. I'm ready to make a change. And that's why, once again, I go back to Body by Jake Radio now, because now there's something where, you know, look, exercise is boring, man. I did the first original soundtrack to an exercise video in 1983 with MCA Records. Because, you know, Footloose and Flashdance, you know, the film, our video came out in 84, right? And, you know, Footloose and Flashdance were the first film soundtracks. And I did the first soundtrack to an exercise video. I think the last one too. But it was all great music that you can work out to, dance to, pop around in the car with, you know. And that's what I want to, I love providing hope and making people happy and making people smile.
Yeah.
And that's what Body by Jake Radio is all about.
You know, it's perfect that this is happening during Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'm wondering, at this stage in your life, Jake, what's more important to you? Is it having that strong body, or is it having that strong mind when life does what it does?
Listen, I think it's both. You got to have the mind first, because, you know, as the mind goes, the body goes. You got to believe that you can lift whatever it is in front of you, whether it's a challenge or a 50-pound dumbbell, right? You got to believe that you can do that. And that's where it begins and ends. And it's, you know, my workout consists of, I combine my cardio and muscular workout together, and my mind works all three, because as I'm doing my reps, I visualize my day and what I have to accomplish during that day. So by the time my workout is over, I've gotten my cardio, my muscular, right, and my mental workout in, all in 42 minutes. And that's what I did. Not 41, not 43, 42, Adam. So I've been doing that since I'm 14 years old. That's for another show.
Look at this. Body by Jake. Well, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need another show. I'd love to, well, first I got to tell you, I'd love to lend any kind of talents or value I can to Body by Jake Radio. You can find me. I'd always love to work with you. You just have this aura about you that is just infectious. And I've seen it on the screen when I was a kid, and my mom and I would do exercises with you to be able to have this conversation with you right now. It's just a dream come true, my man. So really appreciate your time, all the work you've done for us over the years, and just for being up and Adam, man. It means a lot.
Up+Adam, you're awesome. You got great energy. Peace. Don't quit.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, so much fun. You can listen to Body by Jake Radio now, iHeartRadio app, motivation, mindset, fitness, mental health tips. And I got to tell you, being a fan of that genre of music, I mean, especially at my time at Q1045, let's go. Those, like, you know, classic hits, as they call them, late 70s, 80s, 90s. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out. More about the Don't Quit movement, also about Jake. Follow him on Insta. You got all the links. His website, I put them all in there in the show notes. So check it out. And I would love to have him up here. Have him come into the Slow Count Studios. That was a fun chat. All right. We got a lot going on. Last chance, very last chance to win your tickets to Wine Fest. We ready for this? It's happening this Saturday. I got tickets. Go to adammontiel.com right off the homepage. You cannot miss it. I'm going to be calling this winner later today, maybe tomorrow morning. So this is your last chance right now. If you're hearing it, you want to go to Wine Fest, get in on that. I want to tell you first about my friends at Benny's Pizza. Love them. You know there are pizza spots. We got a ton of them. We talked about it in that episode. We got almost 30 of them here in Slow. And there are places that just feel like a story is unfolding. And that's what the vibe is when you're hanging out at Benny's Pizza. They're on Upper Monterey, downtown Slow. We're talking Detroit style, baby. That thick, crispy pan fried crust, whether sauce is on top, on bottom, who cares? Flavor in every single bite. And with happy hour like this, it's your go-to hang. It's going to be your go-to hang. Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. $3.50 domestic cans, $2 off premium beer and premium wine, plus food specials that are just incredible. And don't sleep on that patio. You maybe got a grad party coming up, Father's Day is in the mix. That's going to be soon. Mother's Day just happened, but we got Memorial Day, all kinds of things. It's patio weather, baby. Corporate hangs, or just kick back with your peeps. Again, Upper Monterey, 1601 Monterey Street. You can order 805-439-3838. Got links in the show notes, the top of the show notes, to all of our supporters, including Slow Free Parking, the Mountain Air, Benny's Pizza. Because look, Benny's, it's not just where you eat, it is where you land. I thank them very much. And please, when you're in there, let them know that you heard them on Up and Adam. And give them a follow on Insta. That's always for free, All right, we want to thank our friends at Moonshiner Collective for being Up and Adam. Stream their music wherever you get your music. Also, you can go to moonshinercollective.com. Want to throw out a shout out to another local band that I happen to very much love, and that is Proxima Parada. Proxima Parada. We're going to have Nick Larson on the show tomorrow. He's doing his thing, his band with the Slow Symphony. Goodness gracious, unbelievable. What are we, a week away? I think when his show airs tomorrow, Thursday, we will be 1 week away. It's May 21st, yeah. So if you're a winery listening, we're trying to figure out some different things that could create some, raffles, some things to help out raise some money, because look, this is an expensive show to put together. The band is paying for it. We still got seats available. And I want to really show this band and where the community is showing up for them. So maybe you're a winery, you could donate a bottle of wine to the raffle or anything. Reach out to me, go to adammontiel.com, hit the connect tab, and just let me know what's good. I would just absolutely love that. Or anything you got to give to this raffle for this band playing at the symphony. It's going to be incredible. I love the arts. You know how we feel about the arts here, and it just makes so much sense. So excited to have Nick from Proxima Parada on tomorrow's show. Our show here recorded at SlowCal Studios, baby. You got to check it out. SlowCal Studios is looking good here, I'll tell you. In the heart of San Luis Obispo County, California. SlowCal, where the wine is world class, the people are so real, and life is too beautiful to rush. Returns well taken. Visit slowcal.com. That's SLOCAL, slowcal.com. Well, until tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you so much for connecting, sharing what we do here with the podcast, with the community. It's been a wild, incredible ride. And thanks for your indulgence with everything going on. I just appreciate you so much for connecting. My name is Adam Montiel, and thank you again for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.